and welcome. It's Ruth again, and today I have a kit from Tonic Studios, and this is kit number 70. So we're going to have a little look inside. This is the box that it comes in. I'm going to show you everything that's in here, and then I'll just get started making something. But I don't want to spend too much time running through everything and waste precious video time. I want to actually just show you what you can make with it, and hopefully spark some ideas for things that you might think of yourself, and we'll just enjoy this kit together. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you would like, and hit the notification bell and keep up to date with all of the kit videos and all of the other videos that I make as well. And if you do get time and enjoy it, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me a little comment down below. So thank you. Let's just see what's in here. Where should I start? I always like to start with the card and the paper or whatever's in here first. So we've got this A4 folder that has lots of lovely card inside it, and then this gives you a good feel for what you can use. But the other thing to remember is that while Tonic have picked out these beautiful colours to use with this set, once these papers are finished, obviously some of these, I think actually when I've just looked through these, all of these should be available from the Tonic website if you do want to top up from it with any of them, but you're not sort of confined to using just these colours with whatever else is in this, because that die set can be used again and again and again with all sorts of different colours just to give a little twist to it. So first of all, we've got some classic card, and this is cream. Then we've got ginger pie, ocean blue and teal blue. Those remind me of a kit a little while ago that everybody loved. I think it was the Clocks and Cogs kit, and these colours worked perfectly with that. So I'm guessing they knew everybody loved them, and they've brought some of them back with some other things as well. This beautiful satin effect mirror card is called Copper Mine, and this one is Turquoise Lake glitter card. Really, really beautiful. Very, very sparkly, and goes really, really beautifully with that one as well. And then we've got some Flanders Blue speciality card, and you can see the beautiful little pattern in that there as well, and that's really, really pretty. Now we've got the little packet, the little folder should I say, with the dies and stamps in. I've got the stamps here, and you can see they say adventure, laughter, love, collecting memories, happy travels, strangers are just friends you've not met yet, magical moments, and wanderlust. And I think I haven't even actually said that this kit is called A Lifetime of Adventure, and the dies inside here can be used to make a really, really beautiful little memory book. Now I've got some family who are just returning home after travelling for a year. They've travelled various parts of the world, and I'm sure a memory book with some of their things in that would be really, really beautiful. So let's just have a little look at the die set. I think I'll turn this over and take these out, and we can see here we've two A5 die sets here in the folder, and then that little stamp set that goes with it. I'll pop my little sticker on the front here, and then I'll know what's in there when I put this into the bigger container. A Lifetime of Adventure. Now this is the outside die here, which makes the little booklet. And you can see you've got some fold lines here, some cutting lines on the outside, and beautiful stitched detail around that. And this folds over so that you've got the back of the book and then this little piece on the front, and this is where you would put the spines and the pages inside here. And we've got lots of different things inside that you could be using with that. So decorative details, as you can see, for here, here as well, and here, and then this would be to put the little holes in if you want to sort of, well, it looks like the holes are quite close to the edge. Yes, they are actually little holes. I thought it might have been like a file binder there where it's open at one end, but it's not like that. I'll cut it out and you'll see it very soon anyhow. This one has holes in it, and that would make the holes down the centre here that you can add pages in and put stitching through them. This would be a little pocket, and here's a little tag, and then we've got various bits and pieces for the tag, and this little sentiment here, which also gets cut out here, and I'll show you that later on in the thing. We've got London, New York, Rome, Dubai and Paris, I think that says, and these are little pieces that you can put on possibly that mirror card, the satin effect mirror card. the debossing on that looks really beautiful if it's on a kind of mirror card as well. Don't forget that you could use these little pieces on different memory books. You could certainly use these on cards or scrapbooks or all sorts of things, and these are little pieces to add on to the tags. So don't restrict yourself with that as well, and don't forget the little stamps that go with it. And the little folder which you can put into your binder. Now this is always a very exciting part, so we'll open the little bag up, and there's loads of lovely things in there this time. Lots and lots of lovely goodies. So what have we got? Beautiful stone drops. Now these are, unlike the crystal drops which are sort of glossy, these have a really lovely gritty effect whenever they dry. The little bottle is a different shape so you can tell at a glance, and these are called Lady Liberty. I definitely will be using those, so you'll see those later. This is Tonic's new low-tack die tape, so this will hold your die onto your card when you run it through the cutting machine, and I always use that. I had been using other stuff, but this is actually really, really good, and there's also a little dispenser that you can buy from the website as well. Mine was on my desk, so you can actually get this on the website and add these into it, and that's perfect for holding your dies in place as well. Now we've got a little tape runner, and this one is a solid clear tape, so it's 8mm wide, and there's 8mm, yes, by 8 meters length on that, and that's really good, a really good adhesive. There's also some of this beautiful embellishment mousse that looks fantastic with this here. I'm just looking, it's a really, really good match with that, and this is called High Tide Blue. You can use that to watercolour. If you take some out, don't be adding water back into this or it will contaminate it, but if you take some of that out and put it onto a scrap of paper or a little dish and add water, you'll get a lovely watercolour effect with that as well. But you can also use it with a stencil, so if you just use a little spatula or something, you can put that through a stencil and get lovely dimension with it. And then this is really lovely. This is one of the new 6x6 card packs from Tonic, and this one is called the Blue Hues collection. Blue Hues, yeah. So we'll have a little look in here, but it's really, really beautiful. It's a fantastic little pack, and loads of these will go beautifully with all sorts of things that you've got, but I love it. Look at that. So we've got Imperial Blue, Cobalt Velour, Blue Obsidian, and Turkish Turquoise. So these are 6x6, and you'll get 4 colours and 6 of each. Right, I'm going to get started. I'm going to do some die cutting, and I'll be straight back. I've got lots of bits and pieces cut out now, and I've taken this die and I've cut that out in the ocean blue. And then, because this is going to be the back cover of my little memory book, I have taken the same die and I've just placed this area here over some white card. Now you can see white card is actually the only other thing that I'm using at the moment that isn't actually in the kit, but I've got some really lovely smooth 300 GSM white card. I love that card, and I have cut this out in it here, and I've trimmed it just inside that fold line there. So there's a little debossed line there, and I've just trimmed it off just slightly smaller so that it still fits in this area here. Then I have taken all those little score lines that are down here, and I have gone in with the center one and folded it in half. So we've got the mountain fold here and then valley folds on the other two there, and I'm going to put some glue in behind that in this part here, and then glue that together, and that will give me a little area that I can add a page on the inside. So just down there. Now this then becomes my spine, and I want to keep that nice and flat, so I've cut out a piece of this beautiful card from the little 6x6 pad. I've cut it to 1.9 centimeters this way by 13 this way, and I'm going to glue that on top of there, and that keeps everything nice and tidy. gives me a really strong spine there, and then the back cover here. So I've taken another piece exactly the same as what I did for here, and I've cut that out in white again, and I'm going to glue that on inside here. But I've also taken this little die and I've cut that out in the teal blue, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that on here. Now I want to just be sure when I tuck this in here, I want to be sure that I have it centered so that you can see it properly on there. Now there are little dots actually on here, and those correspond with the little corners of the piece that I have put on top here, and there are more of them actually on here that correspond to different parts, but for this one I'm going to move this over here and just put it on there because I still want the stitched effect the whole way around the outside. This feels really sturdy, and I'll add the pages into the centre in a moment or two, but I want to go ahead and decorate this front part first. So you can see here there are two dies and I've taped them together there. I actually used this one in white and then this one and this one together in the glitter card. I've glued both of those together and I'm going to put that on there. Then I used this one in white and that one together in the glitter card, and that is going to go up there. I've also cut out a lifetime of, and that's in the glitter card, and the backing plate is in white. I'm going to put that on there, and then I stamped adventure from the little stamp set, and I cut it out with the little die, this one, and I'm going to pop that on here, probably on 3D foam pads, because I've actually gone ahead with this little die here and I've cut that out several times. I've got the glitter card, I've got the ocean blue and the little one from the pack, and I'm going to use those as little tails below here. So I'll go ahead and glue all of that first, and then I'll come back and move into the inside of the book. Centre pages of this then, I have used the same die that I used for the front and the back, so it's this one again, and I've cut it off exactly the same way as I did for here and here, and I'm going to back both of those together, but leave just a little gap here so that I can slip them over this, and this will act as the spine to put the extra page into the centre. I wanted a little panel on here, a kind of mat to add something onto, but I want a little closure over onto it that I can actually slip this on and it doesn't have to stick down. So I've cut this out in the card from the little 6x6 pack, and then I've taken the little die and the inside one that cut out the tag, so it's this one and this one. I've cut this one out in ocean blue, and then I've cut this one out in glitter card and glued that onto the back. So I've put a little magnet on here, and that's just drying now, but I've cut the same die out again and nipped this little bit off, and I'm going to stick that over the top just to glue it on, and that will cover the magnet up. Whenever I've got that done, then I'm going to attach this over the back, and the other piece of the magnet, the corresponding piece, will go on the back of this before I glue that down, but that keeps that covered and keeps it all nice and tidy. Now I want to fold that over because that's the piece then that is going to go on the back of this tag. That will go down there. Now it just takes a wee minute or two because there's that little magnet in the centre, and you need to hold it down at the edges just to hold it tight. So I'll put this over here, and I only want to glue this part on. So you can see just there, that will go on there. Now you can see I've already gone ahead and put some double-sided tape on there, and that's because I prefer double-sided tape on mirror card or pearlescent card or whatever, because I think glue sometimes leaves a little mark, but I need to put a wee drop on because I don't think that's just enough to hold that. So I've got that on there. Here's my magnet, and you can press this one down, and then you'll see exactly where this one should go. It just automatically goes there. I'm going to put glue on the underside of it here and pop it down again, and it just automatically goes into the place where it should be. I'll put the tiniest drop of glue around the outside here just to keep that stable, and then I'm going to glue that right on here. And there's lots and lots of dimension here. It doesn't, you know, I can go ahead and pop that on and everything's fine. So just centre that as best you can there. Keep that straight. And there we are. Now I've cut out my little mat in the white, and when I lift that up and pop that on, it's going to stay there because this will hold it, because the little magnet's in there. Now for this page here then, I have gone ahead with a little corner die, and I've cut out a little piece to make a pocket on here, and I've made a little flap as well. I've used this die then, and I've cut it out in ocean blue, and there it is, all burnished and everything's folded over there. So I want to go ahead and glue this on here to make a little pocket, but I don't necessarily want this piece on it, so I'm going to cut that off because it means then that my pocket will fit in it, and it's not, if I had that on, I would have to stick to something that would just fit in here, but the tab that I'm making is wider than that, so I'll cut that off. In fact, tell you what I'll do, I'll glue it in there, and that will keep that nice and neat, and then I'll just use the other two. So that's going to get glued in there just so that I don't have a rough edge there, and then I'll put glue on here and pop my little pocket on there. Now to create the little tab or the little page, I've forgotten the name, but this is it. It fits in here. Tag, that's it. I wanted a double one this time, so rather than just putting a single one in there, what I've done is I've taken a piece of white card which is wider than the die that I was using, so that's the one with the stitching around the edge, and I folded it over, and then I'll show you here, I've popped this die on here so that, if you can just see that there, this inside edge was level with the top fold of the card, and that meant that this edge was over the top, so that didn't cut, and it meant then that instead of cutting two pieces when that was folded over, it has actually cut this piece that has the little fold part that holds it both together, and then you've got your stitching there and your stitching there, and that means then that this is a double tag, and that will be able to just fit in there. I can go ahead and add some decoration to these afterwards, but that's how these pages are sort of coming on at the moment. I put the corresponding little die piece on here to decorate that, and then I put a little strip of the mirror card along the top, and there's a lovely little circle die in there, so I die cut that 4 times in the different cards and put that across there too. Now you can see here on this one I've added a little airplane. As I was thinking about this one and I looked at the little globe and whatnot on here, I thought that it reminded me a little bit of a magazine issue a while back where they had a little suitcase and some corresponding pieces. So I went back and got that, and I've used some of the pieces out of that again. So there's the little die from the set that I was in there, the little circle one, but there's the airplane which I've used on here, and then on the next page I'll show you what I've done. First of all, I made a little pocket by using this little die. I thought that was really beautiful. I will definitely be using that one again. So I've used that die, and then the one that goes in behind it, and I can't find it just at the moment. There it is. So I've used that one in white, and then that one and that together in the glitter card. I've glued those directly on top of each other, and then I've added that onto the page just by putting glue right down this outside edge, very, very close to the edge and along here, and then that made a lovely little pocket. I've die cut the stitched edge one out again here, and that has made my little tag or little photo mat for in there. And then this little die, it's actually two dies together, are from the suitcase set from the magazine kit, and I added that on there. Then for here I took the die that has the debossing that I showed you at the start of the video, and it has the words, let's see, we've got London, New York, Rome, Dubai, and I just nipped off Paris because that fitted nicely along there. Hopefully you can see that. There it is. And I glued it just by the sides here, and then I took the little arrow that I had put along here, and I put it right across the tag there, and added this lovely little piece up at the top. And I actually think I might need to lift that up a little bit to get that out. Yeah, and the little tag up at the top there, and that's that one all finished. But I really just wanted to show you that you can add bits and pieces from other sets in there. I know I do this quite a lot because I'm quite sure most of you have other sets there, and you don't want to just use them once or twice and leave them. Don't forget to add them in and make good use of them. Now that has only got this single page in the middle, but there's lots of room at the back and the front. There's plenty of dimension here, so you can add lots of things on there. But you could also add extra pieces on here. You don't necessarily have to glue those right together the way I did. You can add another piece of card and add different valleys and folds, and you'll get more than one page on there. But for now, that's that little book, and I'll just get on to making something else. I wanted to try something just a little bit different with this rather than making two different books. So I've cut this die out again, and this time I just stopped right here. I didn't bother cutting this part off. So I've got, you can see it there, that just fits in there, and I cut it right down where that score line is. And I've done that twice and folded them over just here and not on the other little score lines. Now I thought I would like something that would fold together like this, so I'm going to just hold those tightly together so that they fit exactly on there, and I'll actually put some of the masking tape on there, and that will hold that for me. I can turn that over, and then now I can go ahead and glue these together, because you can see it's not exactly right down where one of those folds is, so it's just in between. Now you can see I've gone ahead and covered the join with some Flanders blue card in there, and I've got another piece here that I'm going to glue over the back, and that will cover that piece as well. Covers the join and it strengthens it, and it's really pretty too. And then I'm going to glue these pieces on here, so you can see that's the bits that I used for here with the beautiful glitter card, and this time I've used the copper mine in at the back and the Flanders blue on the top, and I'm going to put it there and there. Now I wanted to make a piece of white card that would go in here, but I wanted it not just exactly plain, so you can see I've got a piece here, and how I did that was I cut this whole piece out. I'll move these over. So I've cut this entire piece out, and then I reset this piece on top, and you can see there I just went ahead and moved this up. So that's what the full piece looked like when I cut it with this die, and then I moved this die up again. So this is the proper edge here, and I wanted rid of this one, but I wanted the stitched edge on it as well. So I moved the die up, set it right there, and then I could feel when I moved this that it was actually going into the same little grooves that this was on, so you can actually feel that it's not moving about. And then I taped it really carefully here and here and ran it through the die cutting machine, and that meant then that I got the same little dashes across here, but I had a finished edge here and I have another piece that I don't need. But I could actually very well just do the same thing on this end by feeling where the grooves are there and moving that down, and I can feel it there, and running that through the die cutting machine, and I'd have another strip with stitching along both edges of it there as well. So I'll go ahead and glue that piece in as well. At this point then you could actually just have that as a very mini a tall card, and it could stand up like that, but that's not exactly what I want to do with it. I want to have it here and then have a little closure on it. So I have taken a piece of the Copper Mine card and I've cut it, sorry, the Flanders Blue card, and I've cut it to 17 1/4 centimeters this way by 1 3/4 centimeters this way. Obviously give or take a little bit on that, it doesn't really matter, but I've set this on top, and then I have just folded this up and round. I actually do it this way just to show you properly. I've folded this piece up and I've added a little magnet on there, and then I have done the same here. So I've put the little tag on there, and I haven't glued this yet just to show you. The tag is over the top of the strip here and the little magnet in between. So I put the magnet on there first and then I pop the other one on behind, and you can see there how they meet up. But I want to glue that on there just to cover it. I left it open so that you could see. And then I've cut out one of the tiny circles again, and I'm going to glue that right over the top of this magnet just to keep it all tidy in the same colour of card. And that's my little band. I've cut the same circle again over the top of the little stamped area here that says please send via airmail, and there we are. That's the little band. Now I really wanted to show you how to use this, because sometimes I forget to show all of the dies, and I can't actually show them all, but if I show the basic ones then you'll be able to adapt them for whatever you're going to make yourself. So I've cut out the main shape again, and I've done that actually 4 times, and I've given myself what I call 4 signatures here with this. So I've cut it out like this, and then I folded this over in this. There are these lines in the center here, and I picked the middle one and I folded that over, and then I taped this on. Now you can see there's a little indentation on it there. That sort of corresponds with these little notches here, the little dots here. I set it on there, taped it so that it's equal distance from the top and bottom, and I ran that through my die cutting machine. That then gave me the holes right through there, and I did that 4 times, and I've given myself some little pages. Now I've also cut out some of these as well, and I only cut this part of the die. I didn't need this part, so I've sliced it off right again down there, and this time I'm going to glue that on there, but I'm not going to glue the top. I'm going to make a pocket that you can go in this way. And then actually I think this time I'll do it so that you have a pocket in this side, because I've already done a top opening one. So I'll glue here and also down here and then across here, but just watch and you'll see how I do that. So it's here. Means this time that I have got this glued, and I can put, I'll just use one of the tags out of this page here, or the other little book. I can put something in there, but I can also put something in here, and if you put a little tag onto the side of it, that will signify that something will come in and out of there, and you'll know, okay, that that's what that's for. So I've gone ahead and I've done that with this one. I have just made the pocket here and I haven't left it open anywhere else. And this one I have left the pocket here, but I've also left the top open, so you can use either the top or this opening as well, or just glue it down like that one. So that's 3 there, and then I've got the 4th one, which is going to be my cover. and I've put the cream in behind there, and I've glued that down flat so that doesn't actually lift up at all. So because I've used this little die in the same place through the 4 of them, those holes line up perfectly there, and I can thread ribbon or twine or whatever I want through that, and that will bind all of those little signatures together. And because they fold over like this then, and I've covered this part, the back of each page is lovely and neat. It's actually the good side of the card as well, so the back of the little book is also the good side of the card. I've gone ahead with this one because it was pretty straightforward, and I threaded the ribbon up in through here, and I had this on here. So I have the lifetime of, and that's put on here, and instead of just putting the stamp on the little banner piece itself, I've added another little one in below, and that's created a kind of a little drop shadow, and I added some of the circles on here and the little thing that I have on the corner up here as well, and that's on there. Now this one is pretty straightforward inside. I've put a mat on here with the bigger die. I have the same one here with a little tab on it, and that is really just to mark where the pockets are, and obviously this one here would really need an awful lot more embellishment, I think anyway. I've kept it fairly simple, but it's just to show you another way of making an album. Now that's the top pocket where it can go in between the pages as well, and I've put the little tab on so you can actually see that. Then I've left this one plain. I've got a little tab on here, and then on this one the little tag goes in there, and the other one goes in the side, and then I've got this piece on the back, and I'm going to add my name onto the back of that as well. Now I've added some little stone drops onto here, and I want to add some on here because I think they kind of mirror the circles that I've already got on there. So I'm just going to make sure I don't have any air bubbles, and then I'll add some on here. And there we are. Now that's it all finished, so I need to set that aside so that I don't touch that until those dry, but I hope you've enjoyed that. I've got 2 little albums, and obviously that will give you a little bit to whet your imagination, but I'm sure you'll have lots more ideas that you can do with that as well. I think I've showed you almost everything there that I had in mind to show, so if there's anything else, I'm sorry if I've missed it. But we've got the 2 albums, and I actually really like this one here with the little magnetic part to hold this down, so hopefully you're going to try that one, and the little circles as well. And then this one, so don't forget to combine them, as I was saying here, add some of your other die sets in, and then the glue has dried in this one as well, so I can show this one to you better now. Set that over, and there's the little band which opens this way. You can take that off, and it just closes again there, and then you've got this that you can write a little note in, or even put a little gift token in there, and there we are, there we have it. So 3 different ways of using that little kit, and again, just to remind you that it's going to look totally different if you were to use patterned paper or even just different colours. I think it would look really spectacular. Thank you very much for watching once again. Don't forget, if you have enjoyed it, to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love you to do that and hit the notification bell, and leave a little comment if you've got time. I really would love to hear from you. Also, my affiliate links to the kit and to everything else I've used will be down below in the description, and I get a little commission from that, but it doesn't cost you anything extra at all, so I do really appreciate everybody who uses those too. Thank you very much, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye bye.